Hey guys, S.Moore here. Okay, so I'm going to be putting a couple things on the Google Classroom in preparation for the test coming up. So I do want you to maybe watch this video and see what I'm going to do. First and foremost, I'm going to put this exam day kind of paper, exam day AP Lang, and it's going to go through all of what you need to get ready for it. How you can, submit your pieces. If you're planning on handwriting, the best way to do that. Any classroom resources you need, and anything of that nature. In addition to that, for those of you guys that have been maybe taking it a little easy this past however many weeks, I think 6 weeks we've been in, 8 weeks we've been in quarantine, I've put together a crash course study sheet, and I'm just going to go over some of the things that I've placed there. So the first one I did or linked is this rhetorical analysis format video by Tim Freitas. Much of what I teach you in regards to approaching the structure is from this gentleman. And so you can click that. It'll take you to his video. You can watch it. It is 16 minutes, but it is a good video, and it reviews kind of the way to approach a prompt. So that's the first thing. The next thing, I linked all of the College Board advanced placement videos. So for those of you guys that didn't know, which is crazy to me because I've been remind texting you, but it's okay. No shade. College Board has put out all of these videos regarding how to prep and get ready for the AP test. So there's a couple options. You can go through and you can look at like what are the most important ones. A lot of the prompts that they use are ones we've already looked at in class last semester, but it's worth looking at. They have some timed AP exam practices here. So they'll give you a prompt on the computer, and then it'll give you a timing, and you can write it, and then they'll go over it. And there's two of those, and then some exam tips at the end. So maybe take a look at those. I've also linked this video. I know a lot of you are curious about the sophistication point. So this is a video by a woman, Coach Hall, and she has a pretty good YouTube channel. I recommend you looking at it if you'd like to peruse. And this is a video about adding sophistication points, so you can take a look at that. Moving away from videos, this is a link I've been linking for pretty much the whole week, 8 weeks. It's a cheat sheet. It takes you through all the different steps. It should not look foreign to you because we've been using it, and has like all of the breakdown of the thesis and the body paragraph. So I'd encourage you to take a look at that. I've also linked a rhetorically accurate verbs list, which includes verbs you can use when you are trying to identify those strategies and the actions that the author is taking. And then what this does is it gives you kind of a category. So for example, these are ones you would want to use when discuss a speaker's choice to emphasize or call attention to something. So you can say, here's the verb, and then you can break that down that way. So there's a bunch of different ones, and I know it's long, but I encourage you to look through it. Let's see. You want to go into the test, with some arsenal. So regarding stable language, this is new. So take a look at this. So the prompts, the way that they're going to work when you see them, is it's going to give you this idea of stable language at the top. And I wanted to show you because I don't want you to waste your time on that when it comes down to actually reviewing the prompt. Getting bogged down by the prompt is probably the worst thing that you can do. Okay, so at the top of your prompt, it's going to say this exact wording every single time. So in your response, you should do the following. Respond to the prompt with a thesis that analyzes the writer's rhetorical choices. Duh. Select and use evidence to support your line of reasoning. We know that. Explain how the evidence supports your line of reasoning. So commentary. Demonstrate an understanding of the rhetorical situation. So thinking speaker, message, audience, context, exigence, all of that. Everything for space cap. Use appropriate grammar and punctuation in communicating your argument. So my point in showing you this is I don't want you to waste your time reading this during the test. It's going to say the exact same thing every single time. And so, these are the things you're going to do while you're writing the rhetorical analysis. And spending time reading that is going to take a few seconds off. So it's going to look like this. You'll have your top prompt. This is going to be the actual prompt. This is what I want you to break down. It tells you what the purpose is, et cetera, et cetera. This is that stable wording prompt. You don't need to worry about that. So when you see in your response, you should do the following in the bullets. You've already read it. I just read it to you. Ignore that and then just go straight to the passage. Okay. So that is kind of what I wanted to show you. And then I've linked my testing guide. I linked it in PowerPoint form, and then I have a video link there. That's me kind of going over kind of the important points, adding some commentary to it. And, you know, I just want to remind you guys the AP Lang test is this Wednesday at 11 a.m. You might see 2 p.m. around, but that's Eastern Standard Time, and we're on the West Coast, so Pacific Standard Time. So it starts at 11 a.m. This walks through, all of the different things you need to know. So you're going to get an exam ticket, obviously, 2 days prior. Many of you have already taken the APUSH test or the chemistry test, so you kind of are pros at this, but you're just going to click go to exam. I gave you some tips on logging in. These are the browsers you can use, etc. Don't hit the back arrow and all that good stuff. So I would encourage you to take a look at that. The other thing that I haven't linked lately, but I wanted you to take a look at is the rubric. So obviously, this is the rubric you're going to be scored on when it comes to the AP test. And so I want you to take a look at that. So obviously there's row A, this is your thesis point. Do you respond to the prompt? Do you have a debatable thesis? Most of you are going to get this if you follow the structure that I've given you. And then evidence and commentary is out of 4 points, right? So you can read through and it'll explain exactly how you score up in the higher points rather than the lower. And then that, elusive sophistication point. So take a look at that. It ultimately, establishing some context, pulling it out to human nature, big ideas, those kinds of things, and outside of the prompt, and then back in, that will get you the sophistication point. And then finally, I have linked 2 of the graphics I created. So this one on the left here, the AP Lang potential time breakdown, this tells you exactly how you should spend your time. So you need to sign into the test at 10:30. From there, you want to start annotating and brainstorming at 11 because that's when the test will be open. Take about 10 minutes to do that and start your intro. I would encourage you to not spend time on a full intro, just do the thesis statement. So just follow the format for that. That should take about 5 minutes. And then you want to begin your body paragraphs. If you're going to do 2 body paragraphs, you're going to spend about 10 minutes each on each of those body paragraphs. For most of you, what I've been looking at, those of you that turn stuff in, you can be fine just doing the 2 body paragraph. And then begin your conclusion. Conclusion should take about 5 minutes. Proofread, make sure you're saying what you want to say, especially in those body paragraphs. And then as soon as that timer turns red, right, as soon as the 45 minutes of writing is up, I encourage you to copy and paste and upload and submit to the exam site. So that's the breakdown. Take a look at this. On the right side, the blue flyer here. This is if you have technical difficulties during the exam, the steps that you would take to request a makeup exam. Remember, guys, this is not something you can use if you just don't finish the essay on time, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna navigate to cb.org/request makeup. It's gonna walk you through the steps you would take. You need to have that email with the original e-ticket in it. And at the very bottom, it's going to show you how to it'll give you a link and such for you to link. So you have to submit that within 48 hours of the original exam, and then they'll tell you if you actually get approved or not, and then here's some reasons for it. If you are sick or you just aren't going to be able to take it in May or on Wednesday rather, just don't click the e-ticket. They'll note that you didn't take it in May, and they'll send you an e-ticket for the makeup exam in June automatically, and you could take it then. At the end of the day, guys, remember one thing, this isn't life or death. This is not you, if you don't do well on this, nobody cares. I mean, if you do well, cool, it's a bonus. I'll still love you the same. I think you guys are all exceptional and I miss you. And don't forget that just turn in what you turn in. Don't try to beat the clock. I'm finding, or on my, on the Facebook pages and such, that people that did the previous test in AP Lit and such, as soon as they started submitting, if they started submitting at 11:45 or that 45-minute mark rather than later than that, like 47 or whatever, they had a lot better chance at getting this stuff turned in. So you guys got this. Reach out if you have questions, and that is what I'm putting out there. Please remember to breathe, and nothing is resting on this other than just bonus. You don't have to send these scores out if you don't want to. Love you guys, miss you guys, and there you are.